everybody sees at a pet shop.
Turtles.
Our first animal can be a ball python.
The oohs and ahs of kids fill the Escondido Ecovivarium once again. KPBS visited the Reptile Museum back in 2021 when COVID had cut off all in-person visits. It also suspended all of their in-person educational field trips and replaced it with virtual ones. But seeing the kids' faces light up once again is what Susan Nowicki, the founder of the Ecovivarium, says keeps her going.
With these animals, they have that cool factor. And so the kids get really excited about learning. And if the teachers let them run with that, we can teach every single subject in school with these animals.
Nowicki says the pandemic lockdown was especially tough on her reptile sanctuary.
When you have live animals, you can't turn down the heat and everything else and just go away. You have to keep coming in every day and taking care of the animals and feeding them and cleaning them and socializing them.
Nowicki says her donations dropped by 80%, and they were denied for grants she thought they'd get. At the same time, more animals were being brought to the sanctuary.
Because of what we work with, there is a bias against these animals. And that does come into play sometimes. So we ended up not seeing the grants that we thought we would from some of those sources.
But they were able to get a loan that Nowicki used to pay her staff and feed her animals. But it didn't leave much room for larger expenses.
During that time, the utilities couldn't shut off for non-payment. And we let SDG&E know we can't pay the bill. We're doing everything we can to conserve, but we can't pay the bill.
An expense that is vital to keeping most reptiles alive. Nowicki says her bill at that time was between $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Now our bill is $6,000 to $7,000 a month with the new rates. And we have that back balance that came due at the beginning of the year.
The back balance, $36,000. Last month, SDG&E sent the Ecovivarium a notice to pay the balance or risk disconnection. Nowicki feared this would be the last straw. But because she kept talking with SDG&E, the company gave her a 5-year payment plan.
So it's under $1,000 a month that we have to pay. But our electric bill is way up here, so now we're looking at over $7,000 a month that we have to pay, which is double what we were.
SDG&E says it's working continuously with customers and small businesses who are struggling to pay their past due bills and is committed to finding solutions. But power isn't the only problem. Nowicki says other expenses are also on the rise.
Our food costs, some of the things have gone up 400%. And it's not like we can say, oh, we just won't buy that, because it's essential for the animal's survival. And so we try to find cost-cutting measures where we can, but there's only so much you can do.
In an effort to save on electricity, they're rotating heating lamps around the enclosures. But she says too many changes can sometimes backfire and end up costing more in vet bills. The Ecovivarium has set up a GoFundMe to help with the outstanding balances and possibly get them into a better location. Right now, they are operating out of an old medical office building and using every inch.
We would like every animal to have the maximum amount of space we can give, because many of them have been through horrific life stories, and they deserve that for the rest of their life.
Nowicki thinks they're keeping their promise of saving the animals and is now excited to get back to the educational promise the nonprofit set out to keep with the community.
Our goal is not only to save these amazing creatures, but also to educate the public about them.
Tania Thorne, KPBS News.